see. Oh, what's up, Roach Dog Jr.? Yeah, yeah, just want to talk about the channel, things that are coming up and stuff that's kind of transpired in the past. Yeah, for people who might not be aware, I am a review channel. I'm a variety review channel, but I also do a bunch of different stuff. I'll do live events. I'll do news coverage. I'll do pop culture news. I used to do a lot of live videos a long time ago. So it's nice to get back into the boat. Let's get it sailing. But yeah, I'm planning on some point, maybe even just doing like a completely different setup behind me. Because what I'd like people to see is like a variety of different things, like the Pokemon, having like some Pokemon cards on the shelf, some Power Ranger stuff, my some of my Marvel, some of my Pops, uh, just a ton of different little things, and that happens to be what I do on my channel. So maybe a good little representation of what my channel's all about. So all about everything. So, oh yeah, just going through some of my old Pokemon cards, and I I keep trying to find out exactly why this card is so rare, and I think because it was part of a set, and I want to say Noctowl was part of it, but this Shining Mewtwo card, I'm told it's a Holy Grail card in the community, but I think it's because they came out of a complete. There was like a set, but I have the Noctowl. It's not in this book, but I kind of keep some of my cards in this one, like my Surfing and Flying Pikachu V and V Max. This Cursed Light. Let's fix that. There we go. So yeah, they're sleeved and they're put away and until I do something different with them. I don't know. But yeah, stuff with the channel. No, it's been very inconsistent the past couple months. I'll do some reaction videos. I'll do some Transformer theory videos, but I'll do shorts. I tend to try not to always do shorts because if you kind of make everything all about shorts, it kind of takes away from the long form content. Long form content is primarily the most popular thing on YouTube right now. There are channels that consist of just shorts, but I'm like, yeah, I'll do shorts. I'll wear pants. uh, yeah, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do shorts every now and then. I don't do them as much as I did before, just because it's like, okay, I'm not even able to really upload anything. Like trying to squeeze the time in. Like, I want to say this week, I've probably uploaded the most that I have compared to the past 5 weeks. So take that for what it is. But I am planning on doing some different stuff with the channel. I'm teetering on going back to the Beast Mode series, which I'm thinking that might probably be the best thing to do because I've done multiple figure reviews since the last episode of Beast Mode, which I honestly couldn't tell you exactly when that was, but it's been a considerably long time. So, I'm about moving all of my Beast. See, I want to say Beast Mode because that's what they always were titled. Just all my various Transformer videos that they happen to have some kind of like animalistic creature beast mode, they fall under that line, especially anything Beast Wars or Beast Machines. Or I guess now Rise of the Beasts. I don't know, I don't have any of those figures. Yeah, so uh yeah, so anyways, I'm thinking about bringing back the Beast Mode series. Don't know when. At some point I will, but as of right now, I'm not going to really mess with it too much because I'm going to be doing more Beastman unboxing. Beastman unboxing is back, and I actually did the first one today. Yeah, yes. So I mean, before that one, I did an unboxing on the reissue Ecto one, and that was in December. No, no, I think I want to say it was like November. So I don't think it was in October. I'll have to look back. But yeah, yeah. So I did a box opening on that, and then I ended up doing this thing right here. It was just called Robot transforming vehicle. Say no less, my dude. There's the back. You can tell they're pretty much just mini cons, just upsized mini cons, which I'm okay with. Because this is the first one of these like cheaper ones that I've bought that I've transformed that didn't break. It's scary because it was making some real crickety sounds. But yeah, funny story about those. So this goes back to when my sponsor, my former sponsor, the Cyber Utron Expo. I ended up working with them, and I was going to do a raffle at the convention. So I used some of my sponsor money and I put that towards raffle tickets, the cataloging of the numbers of the raffle tickets, the prizes cataloged, and then, the thing happened, and we unfortunately had to inform guests about ticket refunds and reaching out to vendors and the event holder. And it was just a mess. And it was really hard. I was looking forward to that convention, and because of the thing, um, I lost the two sponsors I had on the channel. Thankfully, the Cyber Utron Expo, um, not sure exactly when it'll go down, but there's talks of it possibly coming back. But again, don't know when. Can't say for sure. But I'm glad at least the Cyber Utron Expo is still alive and kicking and planning to, doing the same thing that they do every night. Planning on taking over the world. So yeah, I decided just to pop one of those open just to do a Beastman unbox. I mean, funny enough, the quality of this plastic is significantly better. Quite significantly. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so going on with the channel, I posted on my Instagram quite a while back of a promotion for the different series that I run on the channel. There was Throwback Thunder Thursday, PokeQuest, News with Nerner, and Beast Mode. Uh, I'm thinking about how I did things then, because then now I'm starting to do Throwback Thunder Thursday again. By doing Throwback Thunder Thursday again, I can't say it's going to be every week. Um, and why do I say that? Because of this one thing. Back when I was doing my Beast Mode series, I was going to do an Optimus Primal week. And every day there was going to be a review of Optimus Primal. And at that point in time, I had the Bat version, the original Gorilla, Transmetal, Optimal Optimus, which I guess you could fall under the lines. I mean, I do. I put he's just the same. It's the same character. So, and then I was going to do the uh, Beast Machines Optimus Primal, the one that looks absolutely nothing like him in the show. Uh, I was going to do the 2006 uh, Transformer Cybertron Optimus Primal, and it was gonna be what was the other one? I'm trying to think if I put it on one of the shelves. I think I'm going crazy. Um, I know there was there was a Lio Convoy I was going to use as a filler, and then there's going to be the Legends, the Takara exclusive one, just kind of fill in the gap, but it just wouldn't feel cohesive to what I was doing because I would just feel like it's very flooded if I were to do it like that. So I decided not to, and it felt like it at the end of the day it kind of feel more like it would kind of clutter the channel up. So with that, going kind of more with the whole Throwback Thunder Thursday thing going that I got going on with it. If I were to do one Throwback Thunder Thursday episode every week, I feel like that would kind of eat at the resources I have for like my vintage stuff. I mean, I do have other vintage stuff, but I'd have to go find boxes and dig stuff out. But I still do have these I could also do episodes on because I one thing I like about doing Throwback Thunder Thursdays, I like kind of talking about the the figure, the history behind the figure. The one I had the most fun with was either the Boba Fett or the Darth Vader figure. Just because there's so much weird stuff behind them. Like, there's a very rare version of the original Boba Fett that actually had a missile launching action with it. But there's also ones that the missile can still be removed. But mine that I have is completely different from those other two. And there's actually like 7 or 8 variants of that Boba Fett. And I happen to have one that's kind of leans more towards the ones that are harder to find, but I I don't believe that the one I have is the one with the removable missile. Kind of makes me wonder if I I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to take a risk trying to see if it will budge. So I'm probably just gonna just assume that it's the one with the missile that doesn't come out. But yeah, doing those it was really fun talking about the history. The other one I had a blast with was Astro Train, no pun intended, and going into all the weird history behind the figure's origins and The one that was advertised in the Hasbro catalog was actually not the final product. It was just all it was all for test. It was just a test piece. It was the like think of the word right now. The uh, the prototype. It was just the prototype, and what really confused a lot of people when that figure came out, because it came out around the end of season one. No, I think it's been a while. Anyways, Astro Train showed up on the TV screen, and everybody was confused to why their figure that they just got like not too long before looks nothing like it. Like the most that shares in common is the both vehicle modes and the bow tie, but the bow tie has been kind of repurposed where it's supposed to be, and it's because the animators, for reference, they had the prototype. They had the prototype, and that's what they had to work off of, and that's why Astro Train looks so different from. Now there were some versions that came out later that Takara did, where they made the head look more accurate and the colors. But yeah, what we got was a white, black, and purple uh, steam train and like a weird space shuttle. But yeah, this stuff like that, just weird little things that I like to talk about. The one I'm wanting to do an episode of Throwback Thunder Thursday with is the Generation One Jetfire. The one issue is I can't transform it, and that's because for some odd reason, and I'll give him a I'll give him a break on it. Well, and that's the issue. There's a break on it. So at the top there is these two hinges, and that's what allows the front of his chest to go up to start making that jet mode. Well, a metal hinge connected to plastic hinges don't really work too well. They don't last long, and I'm thinking people already kind of know that from the masterpiece stuff. But uh, I can't transform it. That's so. It would just be me talking about the articulation, the molding, the paint. You know, the things you usually ping when you're doing a action figure review. But unfortunately, I could show photos of its alt modes and its weird Gerwalk mode that was never used in Transformers, but we got to see like a little funny thing that looked very similar to it during an episode with Skyfire. But yeah, I want to talk about the history behind it, why it's so an elusive figure, why it was only on store shelves for a year, the weird Robotech connection, the issue with Bandai and Takara. There's so much weird stuff with it, but we did get two. No, I take that back. So for those who don't know, if you don't know now, you know. Uh, the Metroplex figure was actually originally intended to be released with the what was the Microman line, and the same thing with Triptychon. They're originally supposed to, because let me jump ahead of myself. So all the what was that thing that they did? Something City, Scramble City. When they did Scramble City, all the figures that they were promoting in that special were already ones that Takara had planned for the oh my goodness, what's that line? Diaclone. It was supposed to be part of Diaclone, and it was supposed to be part of either the Microman or the diet or like the main Diaclone line. And they ended up repurposing all those figures for the next line of the Transformers, the Combiners. And that's why both with Triptychon and Metroplex, there's connector points on them. With Metroplex on his arms, and if you pop off the little kneecap things, there's all support, so you can plug. They always have shown it with just the aerial bots connected to him, and that kind of led to the purpose to why the 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 main parts of the combiners had these weird base modes because the whole motif was supposed to be like bases. So that's why Silverbolt would turn into a little like launching station. And I know I can't remember what Defensor, what his main, I think hotspot. I could be wrong. I think it's hotspot. He turned into something too. But yeah, I just remember seeing people posting pictures. This was forever ago. This was back in like 2007. That's when I first started getting on like the forums and TFW 2005 and uh, Cybertron.com, all these different sites, and people were posting pictures. And I saw the one with Triptychon and how his legs, like from his thighs, they pop and they unlock out and they come out so they're longer. Those are intended to be connected to the Decepticon combiner bases. So you have the aerial bots. Well, really, any of the combiners that had the blocked off head as its connector point, or like the one that Blastoff has, you can plug those in, and if you have like the fist lying around, you can plug those in. You can give Metroplex two more arms, and then you can give him leg filler. I guess if you had like ones that had tank modes, that the barrel could flip up, and I don't remember exactly who. I think Braun and someone else. I don't. It's been forever since I've seen a lot of the original G1 combiners, so I'm trying to remember if one of them even had a movable turret. But yeah, so you could give them more hands to hold guns, and then also the fact that they come with drones that interact with their base modes. Yeah, so it was all originally just supposed to be a completely different line. Then Hasbro got involved with them, and they moved all their car robot stuff, their Microman. They moved all that stuff to the Transformers brand. So they knew, well, let's just use these. Um, Omega Supreme actually is not from. Well, okay, how do I put this? Or it tends to make more sense. Okay, so Omega Supreme, that mold was licensed from another company. Um, and there was another. Okay, yeah. There's some of them that I'm looking at. I'm trying to look at that were originally not Transformers. Okay, so oh yeah, so the Jetfire. The Jetfire, that was a mold that a toy company that was in Japan worked with Hasbro and Takara. And then around the time, I can't think of exactly what animation company bought it, but they bought the rights from that mold, and then they also bought something else with the licensing with it. But the issue was that company that bought that because the what it, I cannot remember for the life of me what Robotech was originally called in Japan because it was called Robotech here. Um, they pretty much had the toy rights and that mold for not just Jetfire, but for the Roadbuster figure. Those were both from that same anime, but they were also molds that were used prior to it. So the issue is Takara couldn't sell Jetfire in Japan. They just that was trying to sell the same thing. Well, there's so much legal stuff with it. There's complications between like who had the product first, but then it would all go back to the original toy maker. And same thing with the Roadbuster. There's a lot of cool little animations people have made on YouTube where they've taken scenes from Robotech and they mixed it in with like G1 Transformers. It was pretty cool, but seeing those two being on store shelves for like a year just because of the whole licensing thing. But whatever toy company originally owned the mold to Omega Supreme, you can find some of those original ones online. I saw one. It was like black, black plastic, and I think it was like orange, black and orange, or something. It was something like that. But yeah, so you can find the pre Omega Supreme. Um, One of the other ones I have, it's a very interesting story. So it's a transformer, but it's not a transformer. And there was so many clones of them going around back in the 80s. The one I have was the one that was sold at Radio Shack, and it was um, oh, Galactic Man. It was the weird gray shockwave that had, the very strange styled trigger. Uh, I have that one. And growing up, I didn't realize that that wasn't actually shockwave. Because I had to make the connection to, okay, well, he has a red eye, but Shockwave has a yellow eye. But then I was also kind of around that time when I got that was around the time when I started kind of looking more into G1. Because the most I was exposed to G1 was when I was a kid. Um, some of my friends and family members had older Transformers, and then watching Beast Wars and being introduced to, the Autobots and the Decepticons, and then, you know, I started watching the '86 movie, and so I kind of got pulled more into that, and then watching Armada right after watching the '86 film, and that was such a shock to me. No, no, it was the other way. I remember I was watching Armada, and then I watched the '86 film, and I remember it was just a shock. So I was like, they look so different, but I'm like, oh, that's kind of how they looked in all that stuff from the Beast Wars episodes when they would do like um, recalls and showing the Autobots and the Decepticons, in in station lock while they're on the arc. So seeing when I was like, okay, like Shockwave does look different, and I looked into it, and I was looking at the back, and I noticed it said Radio Shack, and people like to call it Shackwave, but there are so many different versions of that. But the funny thing is, when Hasbro and Takara bought the rights to that mold, they did change how the trigger was, and I want to say it has the same electronic sound effects. And of course, he's purple with the yellow eye and does have the Decepticon insignias on him. And it always just made that one stand out. That's why I had a lot of fun doing a video on that one and kind of referred to it as Shockwave's grandpa because it was a toy that another company had that someone bought the license from, but then there's multiple clones that came from said mold until it became an official Transformers product. So I just thought it was just strange. Yeah, and then for those who don't know, I do like to read manga, so I've been rereading Volume 2 of Pokemon Adventures. It's very nostalgic because it just makes me think of the original games when they came out. So yes, with like, I'd say a small percentage of the Transformers that I have, I'd like to say there's some weird history behind them. So, but yeah, that's. Let me do something real quick. I might be ending the stream. Just one moment. Sorry about that. There's just some technical difficulties going on. There we go. Stream saved. But yeah, for those who don't know right now, I'm listening to the Inertial Drift playlist right now. So for all those out there that like your Eurobeat, okay. So yeah, there's some of the most unique G1 figures I have. So Power Master Optimus Prime, that one is like one of the top ones. Galvatron, Jetfire, the Metroplex, and one of the old mail away. I think they're called. I can't think of it. And they had like their own name, but they were just these reinforcements. Oh, I think they referred to them as like. This is gonna bother me now. Like it popped in, but I'm like, I don't think that was it. It was. I know they were like Autobot reinforcements from Cybertron. It says it somewhere in this little catalog book that used to come with the figures back in the day. That one and say like double dealer. So, but then I've also got some really odd ones. I've got two decoys. I got a decoy of Huffer and a decoy of Astrotrain that aren't all messed up. And then I have world's smallest Grimlock, so I gotta fix it. Something happened with a screw and it's gone, so his tail's kind of messed up. Yeah, I'd like to do some more Generation 1 figures at some point, especially Metroplex, Omega Supreme, and Tripticon. That would just be a thrill to do. It's just trying to find a proper way to film them because they're they're so big, and I hate when a video is like video pause, continue watching. Yes, continue watching. But, there's some different stuff I'd like to do with the channel. Even talking about like Funko Pops. I don't have a lot, but I've got some really cool exclusive ones. So, then I got this a while back. The the whole famous copter.
I'm not trying to scare you, but there's a camera and a microphone in this device. There's a camera and a microphone in this device. Do not let it record everything you do.
So yeah, there's just a lot of different stuff that I'd like to talk about. I mean, I still have some comic book reviews to do at some point. And again, just trying to find a good balance between different projects that I'm working on with the channel, whether it's doing Throwback Thunder Thursday or doing more beast mode episodes or doing PokeQuest again and talking about like the old vintage figures, or even starting something new. Like I know I already have news with Nerner and that's not super new, but it's still relatively viewed. So even doing more live streams because, like I said, I used to do them a lot back in the day, like back when I first started, and then this time around. Yeah, there's just a lot of cool figures. I mean, there's this for people who do pixel art. But yeah, the other thing I was going to bring up. Oh, yes. So at some point at the end of the year, I'm most likely going to be doing a giveaway. And all those are pretty much just going to be the stuff that I had for the little raffle I was going to do at the Cyber Utron Expo. So, yeah, thanks for everybody popped in. I appreciate it. Just me talking, just listening to some Eurobeat. So, I'm going to be uploading some videos today. I've got a Psychic Pebbles review, and I have a Beastman unbox. So this is like the most videos I've done in one day. Might do some shorts. I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Love, peace, and chicken grease, and keep on rocking in the free world. Yeah.